everybody, I'm Brian Iannucci and I'm coming to you from my home studio. One of the big things with the coronaviruses and the quarantines has been for artists who are traditionally out playing live music on a regular basis, such as myself and a lot of you out there, transitioning and doing live sets on either Facebook Live, Instagram, or other streaming sources. So we've gotten really good at tuning our live audio, and having that great live audio sound is always important to give our music the right expression and sound. So the frustrating part for many artists has been, how do you take this live audio setup and transition it to an online setting where you're on a Facebook Live or you're streaming onto YouTube or some other source? So I wanted to share some tips on stuff that I've done that has made things a little easier for me. So first, a little background. I'm a piano player. That's going to add a little more difficulty to this. So for the piano players out there, we're going to go over some miking of the baby grand piano itself, so you don't have to use a keyboard, so you get that natural sound. And then we're going to talk about using a regular, what I would call a pretty standard live setup with a basic audio mixer, and how we can mix and interface into either a computer or ideally a cell phone to be successful. And so you're going to be able to use a lot of the tools that you already have around your house. You might spend a few bucks on a couple extra things, a couple extra toys, but all of this is going to be available from your music store like a Sweetwater or Amazon.com. So let's get started. First, here's my basic setup. I've got my baby grand piano, and this is huge for me because as a musician who enjoys live sound and really want to have that authentic baby grand feel, I've decided that I'm going to spend a little extra and I'm going to mic my baby grand. So for y'all who are piano players, this is going to be helpful. I have found that the Audio-Technica ATM 350 piano mics are the best bang for the buck as you're working through this. As you can see, I have two, one over the lower end of my harp and one over the high end of my harp. Now these microphones are excellent because they have a magnetic base to them. Don't take and buy the cheaper ones that have the clips because they won't fit over your metal here. Rather, as you're working through, just keep in mind you're probably going to need two if you're micing a baby grand piano. Keep them 6 to 9 inches off of your strings themselves. And as you're working through this, also keep in mind that that these can go directly into a regular mixer, and you'll be able to mix that sound. As you can see, again, I have two mics, and they're placed spread apart on my piano, so that's going to give me a great sound. The next piece of equipment that I have and I highly recommend is your condenser mic. Now I'm using a Presonus M7 condenser mic here. Pretty basic low-end condenser mic, but this is going to give you great sound. I was using my Shure wireless system for a time, but I found I had more control over the environment with a condenser microphone. So all of this is going to go into my mixer, and my mixer here I'm using is a Yamaha MG10XU. As you can see, I have my microphone in channel 1 and the two mics that are going into my piano into channels 2 and 3. The goal as you're setting this up is, I found, use the phantom power and keep your gains as low as possible. This will avoid the clipping and the loudness that you get when you're coming in with gain. Rather, try to get your peaks up as high as they can. Additionally, I'm running a little bit different type of setup here, and I'm doing this quite purposefully. My main outs, or my XLRs, are actually going into my in-ears, which I'm using a Behringer, and here I'll flip it over here, P1 personal in-ear amplifier. If you've got a regular in-ear setup that you already use when you're out, that's a great tool here. What I've found is, as opposed to having a monitor speaker that's going to bleed into my sound, that I'm going to try to keep the sound as natural as possible, especially because I'm in a smaller room. And I'm using my 64 Audio in-ear custom earbuds. These are spectacular. Now, I have to tell you, these are probably some of the most expensive piece of equipment that I've ever invested in for music, but well worth it, because with a custom in-ear, you're able to really have those fit to your ear, and they're comfortable. So now we've talked about my in-ear setup. I'm using 2/4 inch for stereo sound to come out from my monitor section. That way I'm able to control right here on my monitor dial the music going out to my audio interface. Additionally, the stereo level here is where I can control my in-ears, and I'm able to get that audio to where I like it and I'm comfortable with it. Additionally, the Yamaha also has an output that you can utilize that goes to a USB, or it's an audio interface. I didn't find this to be loud enough when I first started playing with it, and maybe it's because I was using a cheaper computer because I was bumping in, but I was getting clipping and other issues that just didn't give me good sound as I was going to a Facebook Live setup. So rather, and I'm going to walk over here to my desk now, I am using those 2/4 inch outputs from my Yamaha into a Presonus AudioBox i2. Now this audio interface is going to allow me to set the tone and have a little bit more control over the volume going out. It's also going to give me another opportunity to have earphones so I can have somebody engineering the audio and making certain I'm not too loud or clipping or other things like that. And it will give you the ability to go out to a PC, Mac, or a cell phone, believe it or not. So, utilizing the standard printer cable that plugs right into here, you're able to have a USB, and I'm going to find it on the floor here, a USB cable. So where you take this could be up to you. Now I found plugging it into my Chromebook that the audio card here just wasn't as quality as I was hoping. And maybe if I had a better computer or was using some other type of system that could have been more expensive that I don't have, it could have worked. But I was frustrated because I wasn't able to get from my either Presonus audio interface or my Yamaha and get to a cell phone. Because obviously if you try a 1/4 inch to a 3.5 and try to put it into the jack at the bottom of the phone, that doesn't work. So let me show you a trick on how to do this. And the trick here, I'm going to use my wife's phone here to show you how this works. Let me log in here. So from here, you're able to, and she's using we both have Samsung Galaxy S10s. Go to your settings. Down at the very bottom of your settings, you'll see About Phone. Click on About Phone, and then you'll see, actually it's not letting me do it. About Phone, Software Information, and then Build Number. Now you're going to click this several times. 4 steps away, 3 steps away, 2 steps away, 1 step away. And now I'm going to enter my wife's PIN, and you'll find that the developer mode has been turned on. So they purposely make this hard so you don't get in and screw something up. But I found this is the only way to ensure that you can use your phone as a MIDI. So let's go back to our main settings page, and then you'll find at the very bottom, magically Developer Options appears. So here, if you scroll down almost all the way to the bottom, you're going to see Default USB Configuration. Now if you click this and then click MIDI, that means everything coming into the charger port, or that Type-C port in the case of this phone, is going to be on an audio file, so it'll pick it up as if you have headphones plugged into your phone. And that'll allow you to take all of that sound that you process through the mixers and the audio interface and push it straight into the phone. The way this will work is you'll use what's known as a USB-OTG. On one side, you have a Type-C plug that'll plug into the bottom of the phone, and on the other side, you'll have your USB port. That will allow you to clear out of everything on your phone and then record live onto Facebook as if you've plugged in a microphone to your cell phone. And then you can use the video coming from your cell phone. These cell phones have great cameras. And then set it up at some point on a tripod or prop it up on a music stand and be able to stream live audio. This will give you the best quality audio you can get on your phone, and it'll allow you to use that typical stage mix that you've been using in a live setting. So with that being said, folks, I hope this video has helped you not make some of the mistakes that I've made, because it's taken me a little bit of time to work through this and process this. I know there are a million ways to go about doing this, and I'm excited to hear how you might have solved this problem as well. If this video has been helpful, please take a moment to like it and share it with some of your music friends. Additionally, listen to my live music, which is also here on this YouTube page, or on my website at www.brianiannuccimusic.com. Hope everybody has a great day, and thanks again for stopping by. Bye for now.